Meet student 2. Let's call him Milo. Milo is a grade 3 student at Toronto Public School. Milo seems to be having some difficulties in reading, writing, and math. We decided to help him out with the assistance of our learning strategist, Ms. Helper. We are determined to find the best assistive technology, or AT, for Milo, so he can succeed in school. The SET framework is useful in determining the right course of action we should take. This framework helps educators think about different factors that can be influencing the students' learning and the best technology to implement for them. We are going to start by taking a look at the student. Milo has many strengths that we can play on when thinking about implementing the correct AT for him. He has average verbal and visual reasoning, high average auditory long-term memory for context, average graphomotor skills, average executive functioning, above average typing skills. However, we also need to evaluate his weaknesses. He has trouble with processing speed, phonological processing, decoding, word reading, and oral reading fluency, auditory long-term memory for discrete details, and arithmetic. Milo's main weaknesses revolve around language and cognitive ability. Through examining learning profiles, we are able to determine the route we should take and what we should focus on when choosing an AT. For Milo, we have chosen to implement Google Read and Write to increase his writing output, and here's why. As a part of the SET framework, it is also necessary to look at the environment that the student is in. Because this will be needed at school and at home, we had to analyze what those conditions consisted of. Though the school has a license for Mindomo, Cruisewell, Firefly, and Dragon version 11, these will not be able to be accessed at home, as he also needs assistance with his homework. The good thing about Google Read and Write is that it can be accessed from anywhere once he sets up his Google account. Living in a rural neighborhood with one computer and 2 iPads, this is available on all those platforms. So even if his dad is on the computer doing his invoicing, as he's a plumber, Milo will still be able to complete his homework with the help of the iPad. Because they also have $500 in funding, investing in a Chromebook would also be an option. Chromebooks are fairly inexpensive and portable, so he can even bring it to school for a more individualized approach. The upside to using a Chromebook opposed to an iPad is the keyboard. iPads do not come with this hardware, and a Chromebook is like a mini laptop with Google Chrome preloaded on it. This will help us utilize his above average typing skills to complete his work. Training. In a classroom with 25 students, it will be hard for the teacher to provide one-to-one training sessions with Milo, which will be what he requires to learn and utilize the program. Ms. Helper will be the primary individual that will be assisting Milo in learning how to use Read and Write. Using a step-by-step approach, Ms. Helper has identified which tools he will need to be using and has created a training program in accordance. TextHelp, the creators of Google Read and Write, have curated a selection of short training videos for all platforms that it can be used on. For the basics portion of the training, Ms. Helper has noted it would be beneficial for the parents as well as Milo's teacher to attend so they are able to have the basic knowledge for the program. This is where they will set up their Google account and explore the settings and tools that are available. Ms. Helper will also show everyone how they can customize Milo's toolbar to fit his specific needs. This would have to occur after school because of scheduling conflicts. The following training sessions with Milo individually will be 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. for 5 weeks, and for half an hour each in the resource room. The Monday sessions will be used as a quick recap of last week's tool and an intro to Google Read and Write feature being taught that week. Wednesday will be used mainly for practice. Friday will be used for follow-up and assessment of the tool learned during the week to show that he is capable of independently using the software. This approach is known as scaffolding, providing support at the beginning and slowly removing it as the student becomes more comfortable. If he is not successful with the assessment, I have left an extra week for time so he can practice and strengthen the skills that he has been working on. Week 1, we will begin every week by watching the short training video that is free provided at training.texthelp.com. In the intro session, it will be beneficial to introduce the main features and tools in Google Read and Write that play on his strengths. Because he has strength in the visual realm of cognition, the picture dictionary is a great tool to increase his vocabulary as well as word recognition. By increasing word recognition, we'll also increase his writing fluency. We are able to play on his executive functioning strengths, which entails organization. The vocabulary list feature will be beneficial to him in organizing words he might be using a lot for assignments. This tool has the word definition as well as the picture dictionary definition to be utilized, creating a new document of these important words. As he is still quite young, only in grade 3, these would be great tools to engage him in learning new words through the use of pictures. During this time, parents and the teacher will be present on the first session to explore the program and ask any questions they may have, so they are able to help Milo practice at home and in the classroom. Week 2. This AT will allow us to target his learning needs, specifically to enhance writing output. Text-to-speech component will read the instructions for him. As he has reading difficulties, reading instructions would have an impact on the time needing to complete his homework and could lead to a misunderstanding of the instructions. By having the instructions read aloud to him would help him to be more efficient with his time. This is going to increase his written output as he is not spending all of his time trying to read the questions and getting frustrated. He'll be able to use his motivation that he has for school and put it to work in his written output. By teaching this skill first, it will boost his confidence level as he is not going to be spending all his time attempting to read the questions, and he will notice the time it takes him to do his homework is going to significantly decrease. Week 3, speech to text. Speech to text is the module for week 3. Watching the training video is a visual summary of the tool that entails a basic way of showing how to use it. This is a good tool for Milo as he has good auditory memory for context. This is a main writing tool to help assist students in expressing content, specifically for the less fluent writers. For less fluent writers, research shows that instruction and practice in the use of speech recognition provided them with a more fluent and accurate mode of text production. Week 4, word prediction will be our final training module, where the goal is for Milo to understand how to use this tool for his schoolwork and homework assignments. The research has shown that this tool is most effective for individuals with severe writing difficulties, specifically in spelling, in certain contexts that require its use. In Google Read and Write, as you are typing, a list of words that fit within its context will be generated. Use the word by clicking on it, and it will say it aloud to ensure the right word is being used. After Ms. Helper models the proper use of the feature, Milo will be able to practice using it in a variety of contexts. Classroom implementation. The classroom implementation will be for language arts, social studies, and science. When looking back at the STEP framework, we have to evaluate the task that is going to be used for. For social studies and science, Milo will be using a combination approach, where he will be using the text-to-speech component to read out the instructions for him, and then use the speech-to-text or word prediction to answer those questions. Because these subjects are highly context-based, it will give him the opportunity to understand the material and express it a little bit more. The language arts implementation will make sure that Milo is using proper sentence structure, grammar, and vocabulary in accordance with his age group. For the speech-to-text in language arts, it will be important to teach Milo that he will have to verbally say the punctuation, as this is not something he will be used to. Monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring and evaluation takes place within the allotted training days. The assessment ensuring the mastery of these tools are to take place on the Friday of each week. Mrs. Helper has curated an assessment that involves performing the use of all these tools that were taught on a week-by-week basis. The first week of intro, Milo will simply show Miss Helper what features he likes and how he uses them. Week 2, text-to-speech, Miss Helper has a set of instructions that she has typed out and wants Milo to use the text-to-speech software to read out the instructions for him. Week 3 involves speech-to-text, where he'll be using the speech-to-text tool to write a narrative about his week, ensuring to use proper grammar and punctuation. For week 4, the final week, he will need to show the use of word prediction by typing a small paragraph based on a picture that Miss Helper shows him. Other assessments after will include observations in the classroom, activities and assignments in following weeks where these tools are being used. As he in grade 3, this AT will be in his IEP and he'll be able to use it for the EQAO evaluation. Thanks.